Today we are chatting with Rosalinda. She's been in the trucking industry since 1991. She's a former owner-operator, and she currently trains. They call her the mother hen. With all of that, she's an experienced mother on the road, having 2 children with her in the truck.
Now let's get trucking.
This is Beyond the Rig.
All right.
You want to go there, Coconati?
Rosalinda.
I was going to say something, but I was like, okay, Casper.
Are you saying I'm translucent?
No, pasty gangster. No, I'm not.
Definitely pasty. I've had cancer removed multiple times from my pasty skin.
I got her back.
This is my girl.
Hey, I like coconuts.
She's a part coconut, too. She's part of the
That's the only
coconati.
way I learned that terminology was from Rosa.
I've
Linda.
never heard anybody else say it. That made me so proud. Because that's what I say all the time.
Coconut.
I'm the coconut. Okay. All right. So, Rosalinda, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us what got you started in the trucking industry?
Wow, there's a lot of many reasons. I was actually running away. Actually, shouldn't say running away. The main reason why I went into trucking back in 91, my brother was actually a gunshot victim.
Oh, wow.
And we needed money to pay for his medical bills. And my uncle was a truck driver, believe it or not, with Knight.
Wow.
Oh.
And he tried to tell me, go into trucking. You'll help your mom out. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I was in my 30s then. And, I finally got the courage to do that. And then, of course, at that same time, I was not in a very healthy relationship. And I'm like, 2 birds with 1 stone, let's do this.
Yeah, let's get in the truck and go.
Yes, and that's exactly what I did. So I went to school. I did start it out with Swift. I went through their program, and then I started driving. And who would you believe, when I started driving, the person I was running away for was in the class.
What? So you both were in the same CDL
Same
class?
class.
Wait. The guy you were
gosh.
running away from?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Showed up. He goes, oh, I heard you're going to be a truck driver. Well, I'm coming with you. And I'm like, no.
I'm doing this to get away from you.
Yeah, and I did express that. But I was like, okay. And I really told the people what was the situation. And they're like, you don't need to worry about it. You're going to go in your own truck. He's going to go in his own truck. There's no way he could follow you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And sure enough, we went our own separate ways. And
Wow.
So you came to Swift and he went somewhere else?
yeah, he's still with Swift too.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
He's still there.
No, he is not there.
okay.
He is not there.
So both of y'all started with the same company.
Same training class.
Yes.
But I didn't know if back then in 91, did they have their own trading class?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know.
did.
Yeah, they had the same class, and we both tested out. We're in the same truck testing out and everything. And I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, Lord.
How does this happen?
And I'm like, I'm going to prove it. I could do this. I'm going to do this. And that was my encouragement to, finish and graduate and be a truck driver. And I was off, to a whole new world out there, which I totally love.
Yeah.
I used it. I always say, they ask me what I do for a living. I said, I'm a paid tourist.
Oh.
And they're like, what do you mean? I go, yeah, Mardi Gras happens. I tell my DM, send me to Mardi Gras. Spring break, send me to Florida.
Those may be
Fashion
stories we
Week,
don't
send me
want to
to
get
New
into.
York.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I used it as my advantage to go places that I wanted to go, experience food, see things I wanted to see. And I wish they had Lyft and Uber back then. Oh, my gosh, I would have been all over.
Life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
This was in the 90s.
Yes, this is the 90s.
You were in your 30s in the 90s.
Yes.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
I truly thought you were in your 30s
That
now.
coconut oil.
You coconuts look amazing. Well done.
It's a coconut oil.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I went from there,
Yeah.
Now, before we started the show, you said even before you got into actually being a truck driver, you were already working at Swift, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little about that and how that transition took place.
So I was working at Swift. I was working at permits and citations. So drivers who got citations or need to upgrade on permits, that was my responsibility to go through the trucks, to not go in them physically, but look in the system. When was the last time they either came in, got updated and stuff, or whoever got tickets to make sure we took care of them and so forth. At that time, Ron Riggs worked there. Him and his wife were working. They were both truckers, believe it or not, at that time. And then they came in the office. And he goes, Rosie, you should try truck driving, because he knew my situation, where I was coming from. And he actually kind of gave me that bug, too. And I was like, I don't know, that second guess. I'm kind of tomboyish, but then, I'm always with my nails, my makeup done, no matter where I'm at, what am I doing. I'm always in fashion, and he was like, you could do it. So I went from working in the office and to be driving, and he ended up being my driver manager, which was the best. I remember his name. He kept me rolling. Yeah, forever. He kept me rolling. He was like the best driver manager I ever had. Don't get me wrong. I like my Jake and Enrique. But he was on point because I like the long hauls, and I always gave him a day notice. Hey, I'm going to show up there a half a day early. Can you get me on my next run, please? And he will ask me for a favor. Hey, this is going to be a little miles, but, I'll get you next time. Okay, no problem. Favor for a favor. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And we just keep running that way. So
That's awesome.
So I'm a nail girl too. You can't tell right now because I have physical therapy and it hurts when I have my nails and they bend them.
yeah.
So they're not on right now, but I'm a nail girl. I would love to know, being the female out there and you have your nails done, I know you got to get them done every 2 to 3 weeks. How do you manage that?
So funny. So back in the 90s, I used to make sure that I go back to Georgia to get my nails done at a nail tech.
Because you had that's fun. And you're from Arizona.
I'm from Arizona.
So
And you would
found
go,
them
you
out
found
there.
somebody in Georgia.
I found somebody in there. She was off the cut. Kim. Asian, done my nails perfectly. Always, always. So I always make sure every 3 weeks I'll go there and get my nails. Now I'm here in town. My nail person comes to my house. On Saturdays or Sundays when I'm off.
Then you tell her, hey, meet me at the house.
Yeah, I'll be there at the house. So we swap. She'll come to the house. I like going fishing and stuff. So I give her my catch and I'll still pay her. So kind of a good little thing.
Oh, wow. So you like to fish, any type of fish?
Yeah, yes.
So then
I'm an outdoors
Are
person
you
too.
are you one of those catch and release folks?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
But then you bring some stuff. What do you ever eat the fish?
I do sometimes. If it's trout or bass I don't care too much for cat.
love cat.
Do you really?
Oh
Once
my
in a while.
God,
If you know how to cook it, fry it good and stuff, I'll eat it. But yeah. But I have some pretty good.
You just look at a catfish and you think that fish should not be eaten.
Oh, it tastes
You know what
so
it is?
good.
I
So
think why I don't
nasty.
eat it is they make sounds.
Yeah.
They're squeaking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to eat this thing. It's talking back to me.
But they're like sucker fish.
But they're so good.
So do you eat carp?
No.
That's just like a catfish, except it doesn't have whiskers and barbs.
Carp
I don't know
stings.
what to tell you.
Carp's disgusting.
I don't
Greasy.
eat that.
I don't know what to tell you. You don't have to tell me anything. I already know. I don't know what
Obviously,
to tell
you need
It's
to try
bad.
it.
Catfish.
Cat is good. I'm not
Cat
wrong.
is
It's
good. You need to try it.
Ugh.
We just need to get you.
I've tried it at
What's your favorite fish?
sea bass.
Sea bass.
Chilean sea bass.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
Mahi, shark.
Ooh, I do love some
Yeah.
mahi.
Yeah.
That is good stuff.
Yellowtail.
And shark, I love shark.
Like
Ooh, I
shark,
love
yeah.
yellowtail. That's another good
Yellowtail's
one.
good too.
Yeah.
Swordfish.
Ooh, swordfish is delish.
I eat a lot of seafood.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, and you love to fish. So, what's the craziest thing you've ever caught?
Wow. Like you want to go
Funny,
there.
you should ask.
So just this recently, this July, we went to Colorado. We go out for a week camping and we're out there fishing. So I caught me a 20-pound, 4.5-foot bullhead pikefish.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Off a lake, out of a lake.
Out of a lake. Yeah. Yeah, out of a lake
They're
in
in colder
Colorado.
climates.
Oh yeah.
This thing had teeth like you wouldn't believe.
Pike, they almost look kind of like barracudas almost.
Yes,
They're long.
they do.
Wow.
And it was a fighter. It was a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
y'all eat it?
No. Everybody goes, why didn't you eat it? And I'm like, I don't know.
I've never had that.
It's
Northern
just
pike, yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of a scary thing. I have pictures of it and everything. And all the guys on the shore were like, we're out here for hours and you've been out here for like 20 minutes, and then it took me
You're
a
like,
good
that's why I fish.
Yeah, you know what? It took me about 15, 25 minutes to catch that thing in
Oh,
here. 'cause
sure, a
they're
20-pounder,
fighters.
yeah.
My pole went in the water. My husband dove in it to get my pole because it's hot pink. He really knew it. He's over there looking for he was in the water. I could even see his body. And he comes out, I got it. And my pole's bent down and everything. And he goes, go ahead, reel it in. I'm reeling it, fighting it in and stuff. And all these guys are like, that's my dream to catch. I've been out here for hours, 2-3 days, have not caught one. What did you put on it? And I'm like, I can't tell you. You know?
A piece of bread.
No, it was shrimp and bacon.
Oh, you got him with bacon.
Shrimp and bacon, yeah. It's my secret. With
Shrimp
garlic.
and bacon with garlic. Look at her.
With
She's all,
garlic
she's
on
all
it.
spicing up the bait.
She's cooking
They say
before
you
she
are
even
what you
puts
eat,
it in.
you know?
That's true.
Yeah, those northern pikes get big.
This
I
one was
fished
big.
for them up on the Great Lakes, but yeah, they get big.
Yeah, that was the biggest one I caught.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I'm not a fisher, man, woman, however you say it. I'm not a fisher person.
I won't
like to
I won't
eat
put
it.
my bait on. No, don't ask me to put a worm on. I will not do that. I'll put a shrimp or whatever, power bait. I'll cast it out. I'll reel it in. I will not take the hook out because I already got a really nasty bite one time from a catfish. They have little,
It barbs.
Yeah.
yeah. So
They hurt.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like
do.
this. Here you go.
Catfish are disgusting.
They're
Yeah.
And they
delicious.
get huge too in those
Yeah.
big lakes. When they sit down at the bottom and they just suck up all the garbage that comes in.
It's so good.
You're not a fisher though.
I'm not a fisher.
You probably just say I don't fish.
Okay.
Correct terminology.
I don't fish.
But you mountain bike.
I do. And look at my hand for it. Look at my hand for it. Yeah.
Tucked and roll.
I didn't tuck.
Oh,
If I
she-
would
I
have
don't know about
tucked, I would have been
tucking.
okay. But instead, I fell
She
and
dove
went.
and slid.
Yeah.
I did that once.
Yeah. Bad things. Bad things. So I'm still in
The
therapy.
good news is you were with people.
Yeah. My husband was there. My neighbor was there.
But she bounced up like nothing had happened.
That's the Latin in us.
Yeah.
Feisty.
That's the outside of the coconut.
Yeah. We're hard outside.
Oh, we know. We know.
So you had said your uncle, was it your uncle was a
Yes,
truck
my
driver?
uncle.
Okay, so I'm curious. Let's go back to that time. So you had your you had the gunshot victim. Then you realized, hey, it's time for me to get over. I'm curious. What did the uncle say when you said, "All right, yeah, I'm going to be a truck driver"? What was his thoughts?
He was, he said I was always born to be a truck driver.
That's funny.
Just because of my vitality, the way I think sometimes, you know, he goes, I'm really hard outside, but really soft inside. And he just was, he goes, you could do it. And he asked me to team drive with him. And I'm like, no, you do flatbed. I didn't want to work that hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So he did flatbed, and then he still drives to this day still.
So let's think back to 91. 91, you're a female out in this very, very predominantly male industry in the 90s. How was that?
It was hard. I'm not going to lie. Women these days that have it, or truck driving, got it much easier than what I had, to be honest with you. I'm not saying I'm the only female out there, but it was very rare that you see so many females. Like when I'm driving on the freeway, I'm getting passed by another female truck driver. I look, I was like, oh, cool. At the gas station fueling up, I see all these females out there, and I'm like, wow, there's so many. Back
Nice
then,
to see.
it was very, very, very rare. I mean, I could tell you some good stories, horror stories. I mean, just beyond. I do have a CB radio on my truck, and the only reason why I have it is not to communicate with other people, but it's mainly my safety for weather or for traffic. For weather, you turn it on when you're going through bad storms or you see something up ahead. Traffic, of course, you see the backup. You turn your radio, hey, what lane we need to be in. You want to be prepared. You're always thinking ahead. So that's when I turn my radio. Other than that, my radio is off. Back then, they never wanted to turn it on. They had so much crap on it. On 19. 19 was the beyond the
That's
worst.
the channel.
Yes, it was the channel. Now you turn it on, it's silence.
Oh, really?
I was shocked because
cell
when I got
phones
my
or-
radio, my CB radio turned on, and I go, so it's still 19? He goes, oh, sweetie. He goes, you haven't drove in a while. I don't know. He goes, they're on 15, 5, 7. I was like, what? Those channels were considered like more private. You talking to someone, hey, go to 5, I'll talk to you privately. but it really isn't private because everybody's going to switch it to 5.
Yeah.
And then you hear the guy talk, my wife is cheating on me, or so-and-so's pregnant, or you just hear their complaints about it. It's like a drama on the road, That was our broadcast back then.
Soap opera while driving.
Funny.
It was. I was like, oh, wow.
Like, did they say 5? Let me switch it.
Yeah, and then everybody's switching and everyone's listening and everybody will put their 2 cents in there. No, you should leave her. No, catch up and find her.
I was alone talking about this.
Yeah, no, everybody and their mama was on there. So back then, 19 was the channel. And of course, I have it on 19 when I was running to weather traffic. And then you can hear the crazy stuff. And sometimes if a trucker was passing you, being a female, they will know your color of your truck, your number of your truck. Oh. And it was like, hey, I got you a little, back then it was a Swiffer. They go, yeah, Swiffer, 1, 2, 3, I got you right here. Let's meet up at the next truck stop. And I'm like, oh, gosh. Man. And then I'm like, okay, this is not going to happen. I'm like, how much fuel do I got?
How much further can I go?
Yeah, where do I need to stop at? And I'll just keep going. If you're stuck in Texas, good luck. You're there forever.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody knows. I had a
forever.
trucker follow me from Arizona all the way to Louisiana. We were going the same way, coincidentally, probably. But he literally made a point to let me know that he was there. I have notes on my truck. Notes left on my truck at my step or on my windshield. So he had to climb up and leave a note there.
Wow.
So yeah, we had a lot of creepers back then. So it was very different compared to now. Now, these men are scared to come to women. I hate to say that because they turn their head down when you walk by them.
No.
Yeah. So it was pretty rough.
It's that younger generation, right, Ryan? They don't quite know how to talk to the ladies.
Yeah.
See?
With that even said, the men back then, they will pull your pin, your fifth wheel pin.
Oh.
So if you're fueling up or if you're parked for the night, you will see your fifth wheel pin pulled. And then you pull off, and then there goes your trailer behind you. So with that even said, I always tell my students, from me being back in the days in the 90s to now, always do a courtesy pull. Pull, pull, pull. I don't care if you're fueling up or if you're at night transportation at the terminal or anywhere, rest stop, pull. At the customer's pull. Do a courtesy pull. Just go a little bit and make sure you're still hooked up because you don't want to be out there looking like a fool, especially because we are women and men do want to see some women fail. I hate to say it. And there's some men that give us a lot of encouragements,
There's good and bad.
Yeah, there's the good and bad. So I always say, do a courtesy pull because I don't want to be out there looking stupid with my trailer back there.
That's crazy. Wow. That's really crazy. So you started driving in the 90s, but I know you didn't stay with it.
No.
You took a time off or you went and worked somewhere else. Talk to us kind of about you got out, what you did, and then how you transitioned back in.
Yeah.
Well, I got out, went into the medical field. Reason why I went in was because of my brother. He needed someone to be there taking care of him more because he was on life support at home. We cared for him at home. So I got into the medical field because of that. Cared for him, and unfortunately, my brother ended up passing away. And then I was like, well, I got these skills. Let me just stay in it for a little while. And it gave me a break from trucking, but I ain't going to lie, I still missed it. It took me a long time to get used to sleeping in a regular bed.
Oh, I bet.
Because you're used to, I don't know, the truck, the sound,
Yeah, I could see that.
But it took me a while. And then, I kind of liked it, not being off the truck. But then, of course, COVID happened. And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't want to go back into the medical field, It's just so much going on. And you got the monkeypox and all this stuff. And I have lupus, so I have my immune system's, I could catch anything. So I was like, let me just go back into trucking. So I went back into trucking, and my goal was this time, like, I'm going to train. I wanted to empower other women, teach them what I learned from me being in trucking. Because when I was starting, there was things that I wasn't taught. And I picked these things up, and it made my drive better and helpful. So when I wanted to teach these women, I was ready to teach them how to use the map. Now we got Google Maps.
You got GPS everywhere. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had it back then.
Yeah.
I was writing everything on the window on the side, the left side with a little crayon. What exit and everything, so it goes at night. You can still see it.
Oh yeah.
Because we have to read our maps. You can give me a map.
Thomas Guide, the Atlas.
Yes, the city, and you got to make sure your bridges and everything here. Just pushing Google. I'm like, what?
Push the buttons and off you go.
Yeah, same with starting the truck. Push the button. Push the damn button. What movie is that from?
Push the button?
Push the damn button. I don't
Got me.
I'm not going to tell you, no.
I failed.
know.
Chris
Mr.
Rock
Movie?
is in there. Jackie Chan.
Oh, Rush Hour?
Yeah, it had to be Rush Hour. Yeah, that was a good movie, too.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was a really good movie.
That was a good movie.
Especially the first one. But we digress.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit more about your desire to empower women, especially in trucking. I'm assuming that when you were trained, it was by a man in the truck after you got done with your CDL school.
Yes, I went through 4 trainers, so.
Oh.
Yeah, nightmares. But, yes, it was a man. They didn't have a lot of women trainers. I mean, it was an experience, for me to take it as a positive, not as a negative. I always say things that happen in our lives are never negative. It always has to turn around to a positive. You got to, because they will eat you up and corrupt you inside. So that's something about me. I never say, oh, this happened to me, what I'm going to do. No, it's always where I'm going to grow from. How am I going to get from here to there? How am I going to make it better? And that was something I wanted to train and teach that to the women out there, because I came from a really bad negative situation where I was trying to run away, and I had a lot against me with a relationship and my family with my brother.
Yeah.
And I didn't think there was a way out, and I did find a way out. Being a truck driver, I lived in my truck for 3 years, literally lived in my truck for 3 years. And I was a single mom. They weren't my biological kids, but they were my ex that I was trying to leave. They were his kids. No one came and claimed them. And I'm like, okay, we're out of a relationship. Who's going to get these kids?
Yeah.
But I'm not that person kick them out. So I actually had them in my truck.
Oh, wow.
I homeschooled them in my truck. We went everywhere and did everything. And I'm like, if I could do this, I know these other women can do it. They're probably in the same situation. Some people are scared to talk about their past or what they're running away from and trying to get and succeed in life. And that's what I wanted to do, was train women. And I know a lot of them are were in my situation.
Sure.
Right.
And they are.
Right.
A lot of the ones I've had, I love every single one of them. I mean, I do see them as my child. They are younger, way younger than me, and they still call me up, to this day. Hey, Rosa, Zonar is doing this. I don't understand this, or even if it's a family issue or something like that, or even for them to vent out to me, I will be that ear for them and try to give them some type of positive back or an answer instead of not doing nothing for them,
You created that bond with them.
Yes, I did. Yes. And I'm glad I have that bond. And they're in a group chat too. So I have a group text chat. So they're always communicating with each other. And I check them on every Monday, every Friday.
Yeah.
Have any of
That's
them come to
awesome.
you and said, hey, I want to train too, because I want to give back
Yes.
as well? Because I know that even though there's a big rise in the number of female drivers that are on the road, we still struggle to get female trainers. And so you get these women that come in and they want to learn, but they don't want to be in a truck with a man. They don't want to spend 4 weeks in there. And in fact, we don't even do that anymore here for safety reasons. And so these women sit and wait because we don't have enough female trainers.
I was waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
Believe me. When I started, I'm like, so when can I come a trainer? When can I come a trainer? I was asking Amy, asking David, when can I come a trainer? They're like, Rosie, you've just been here 2 months. And I'm like, well, how much longer? I was like, so
Like
eager.
that's 60 days.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not a new driver. I'm just new to you all.
Yeah.
Right.
I go, but I know what I'm doing. And he goes, nope, you got to wait a while. You got to get this many miles. You got to be with us a year. Gave me the whole rundown. I'm like, that's forever. Forever, And
That's
it
on the
just
Sandlot.
happens. I think I was already with the company for a year. And I went to go get my load. I was going to go to Tucson. And my trailer wasn't there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a time sensitive. It says don't be late. And I'm always an hour early, always an hour, 30 minutes early. And I was like, okay, let me see if I could get inside the doors. But the doors don't open inside until 7.
Yeah.
And of course, I creeped around to the backside. And then I got in and I went in there and I saw Dustin from the training program.
Dustin Craig.
Yes, Dustin Craig. And then I go, hey, can you help me? And he was like, yeah. He was like, well, what is it? And I go, well, this trailer's not here. And he goes, looked at me. He goes, hold on a second. He goes, what's your driver code? He's all like, what's your truck number? He goes, wow, you got 0 on your safety
drive.
score, smart drive. And I go, he goes, why aren't you not a trainer? I go, hello.
I've been asking.
I did. I told him that. He goes, really? He goes, we'll make this happen. I'm a believer, making it happen. I go, you're my guy. Let's do this. He goes, let's set you all up. And, instantly, right there.
Did he get you a trailer?
Yes, he did.
Is this Dustin Craig?
Yeah, Dustin Craig.
Yeah, he got me a trailer and everything. And I was just like tickled. I said, man, I'm going to dance at your wedding, okay? I'm a good dancer.
So you mean Dustin Craig made it happen for you, but Enrique couldn't.
Yeah, Enrique Suave didn't have it at the moment.
Enrique Suave failed Rosalinda.
Yeah.
Enrique, if you're watching, shame on you.
Enrique
Next time.
Suave, you know that's sticking.
Oh, yeah. He's,
know that's
he's getting it
sticking.
for sure
Oh, I
next
got
time I'm
names
there.
for all of them, so.
So what's your goal then for your students when you train them and you're sending them out into the world, right? Like get out of the nest and fly on
Yes.
your own in the truck.
Bye-bye,
What
little
what
birdie.
is your goal for them when they leave your truck or your training philosophy that sticks with them as they head out?
You know what, with all my students, if there's the ones that I feel like they could be a potential trainer, I tell them. I go, you know what, you have a lot of great skills. I see how you communicate back with me. You should be a trainer. Get your feet wet, drive out there for at least 3 months, 6 months, and, look into being training. You got those skills. I let them know.
Yeah.
And then when they leave my nest, I don't if I don't feel comfortable, this is how I feel. If I don't feel them comfortable driving next to my grandkids, my mom, any of my family and loved ones next to them in a rig, I'm sorry, you are not passing my class. You're
That's
not
good.
passing me.
Yeah.
Because that's how I got to look at it.
Yeah.
But once they're out on their own, I want them to grow, to achieve, to make the money that they're here for. That's what everybody comes to truck driving, is to make money. We're not here to look cute in the truck. I mean, I know I do sometimes. Yes, but you gotta, want them to grow. I want them to carry on.
Yeah.
And, even I even tell them, I go, remember, you don't always have to be a truck driver. You're with a big company where you could grow within. This is just a step. If you feel like a year, 2 years down the long run that, you know what, you're done the driving, you want to come and be a driver manager, go and ask your driver manager, what's the steps to come in a driver manager?
Yeah.
There's so many places in this company that you can move up to.
Absolutely.
We don't know what your back skills are. You could be an accountant. I never knew that.
Yeah.
But you could probably get a job as an accountant. And I go, this is just a stepping stone. Now it's up to you to watch that next stone you step in.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a solid move that you're going to do or not. And that's how I like to, I tell them that, physically tell them that.
Great.
So you got to achieve, it's a business within a business. That's what I tell them. It's a business within a business. They gave you a truck. They're giving you all the obstacles and tools that you could achieve and make yourself better. And it's up to you to manage your business and to grow.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I always tell them. They're like, you know what? I never see it that way. I go, yes. They're giving you these tools. They're giving you a truck. If you don't have a place to live or stabilize, you can live in your truck. It has a refrigerator. You could cook in your truck, but just don't cook fish or popcorn. I go, you could make a life out of there. Make a life out of it and then move on. You could be an owner-operator, 2 years, 3 years down the road. I tell them not to probably 2 years, 3 years the most.
Get to know the business first.
Yes, you need to know the business first.
Yeah.
As a company driver, there's still a lot to know. You got to do time management. You got to understand your fuel. You got to understand how many miles you got left or how long it's going to take you, on your deliveries. Get to that comfortable. What's going to be best for you? Are you going to be an early morning driver? Are you going to be a midday driver, banker driver? That's what I call them. Or you're going to be a night owl.
Yeah.
You got to see what best fits for you. And if you found out that fits for you, then you let your DM, hey, you know what? I tried these different options and they're not working for me. I feel that I'm more of a night driver. Can you give me loads that can run at night? Then commit to it and keep it steady. That way you can have a functional life in the daytime.
Right.
Now, myself, I'm an early bird. I'm at
Early
work
bird
at
gets
3
the
o'clock.
worm.
Yes, that's
I mean,
right.
she's a fisherman.
Hey, I'll tell you what, all of the runners that I knew that like ran solid, did really good, earning a lot, they start early,
Early.
3 a.m.
Yes.
And it's
You beat the traffic in
Yep.
the morning. That's just how I feel. I beat the traffic. They're going to be first in line to get unloaded, even if my appointment's not at 10
Yep.
10 o'clock. Believe me, a cute little face, little Gatorade in my hand.
In I go.
Hello.
What about this?
That's hilarious.
What about the pamphlet that you've created for your students?
So my pamphlet is just something I typed up for them to carry on. Like they were like, Rosa, I don't know, what am I supposed to put? Arrive at shippers, consignees, and everything.
Like
so
a cheat sheet.
A little cheat
Like
sheet, yes.
Okay, like a little reference guide.
thing. And I have that broken down to them. You know, this is what you need to do. Are you picking up a load, or are they putting the load in the trailer? I mean, it's that simple. And this is what you're going to put. Now, are you dropping a load? Are you getting empty? Or are they doing a live unload? This is what you're going to push, you know? And that's how I kind of broke it down for them.
That's nice.
Because you do forget once you're on your own, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you panic a little
Well,
bit.
Yes.
Until you get to know what you're doing, it's great to have those reference guides.
It is, and they do pull it. And then sometimes, yes, I get those calls, and they'll call me, hey, I'm over here at the shippers. What do I push? I go, hey, where are you at? What are you doing? Send me a screenshot and everything. You know, they'll screenshot it to me. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Okay, thank you.
That's
you know, or they're like, oh, I don't even know how many of the students already called me about dropping their trailer. I thought I was going to skip it. I thought it was stupid, but I dropped it, Rosa. How do I lift it? I go, the way you crank those things, you got to crank
That's
it
the way
up.
you crank
I go,
it.
row that boat.
Row that boat.
Row the boat. And I go, put it in that slow speed, row that boat all the way up.
Yeah.
Linda, have you seen this pamphlet?
I have. I've
Is that something you could give to these new students coming out?
Yeah, so it is. It's impressive. I've even seen the way she has a whole setup in the truck. Like it's an experience just to pop as a newbie to hop into her truck. Like it's all set up, all decked out.
It's clean.
Welcome.
I feel like I'm going to Disneyland getting in that truck.
Of course, you're going to go into the Wally World. Here we go. Let's play.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
I mean, it is. It's an experience
That's
when
cool.
you walk in. There's a welcome.
Huh.
That's
It
awaiting.
would be nice to replicate for all students.
My thing is, I want to welcome
I know
them
you can't, but
Yeah.
to a new chapter of their life, their new
that's
journey in
cool.
life. And I want them to feel that they're welcome because it's something scary. You're driving something big. People might have told you can't do it. And I want to show them they can. You know, so I do. My truck is super clean. I ain't going to lie. It is all red, all decked out. Yes, Dustin, red, 49 or red. Okay.
That's night red.
Yes, night red.
hey, I'm okay with the 49er red.
And, you know, and I have their name. I always ask them, what's my student's first name, last name? And I say, welcome aboard. And I do have my port little symbol on it with the night and their name and stuff. And then I have a goodie bag on top of their
so
bunk
cool.
with a bunch of
cool.
snacks and everything. And I actually look for the shower bag. I cannot believe they're not selling them more at Walmart.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've been looking them online. So I've been trying to find it's a shower bag. It's the most handiest bag. You can put your soaps and everything all around it. And plus it has a bunch of goodies and everything. It has a set of gloves in there for them. I get the little flashlight that we have, Night has on there. Of course, I got a cup of soups, some chips, some snacks, hand sanitizer, some wipes, some toilet paper.
You're talking about the female touch right
I
there.
know.
I
Let me
know.
tell
You
you,
don't, you don't get that in anybody else.
It literally says welcome.
yeah, and it has
That's cool.
motion
The
in
person's
there.
name.
Yeah, but to Rosalinda's point, it is trucks are intimidating. They're
is.
big.
Absolutely.
And to be hauling a 50,000 pound load behind it, I mean that's intimidating. Even when I did my ride along and the guy was like, "Hey, you want to try? Like we can get to a side street and just try." I was like, "Heck no, I don't want to drive that."
You can feel the weight. Like
Because
my,
it just kind of freaks me out. Like if something goes wrong, it would just be terrible.
yeah, they all freak out when they get that first heavy load, 78,000.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, I can feel it. It's pulling me back. And I go, that's okay. You got it. You got it. Let's just keep going, you know.
Yeah.
Relax. And, you know, I always take a picture of my students when they first get in the truck, when they first drive. Because they do drive the first day they're with me.
Oh.
Gotta get in the field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get on that
Let's get it
horse.
wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let's
love
jump
it.
in. Let's jump in it. I'll drive the first half a day so they can see how I do it. I show them how I would do it. I back up and show them how I would do it.
Now backing would just be terrifying.
Backing is the toughest thing for anybody. Yeah. New, whatever. Everybody's backing up. So I always show them and I go, okay, now's your turn. They're like, I'm going to drive. I go, yeah, that's what you're here for.
That's what you're here for.
Let's do this.
Hop in.
They're like, oh, okay, where are we going? And I do local with my students first, and then I like to go over the road because I ain't going to lie, I'm not going to take them to California
Yeah.
if I don't trust them driving all crazy, you know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they drive right off the back.
Yeah.
Right off
which
the
is
bat.
a good thing.
And they love, after a while, they're like, oh, I got this.
Yeah,
you make it look it's so
get your feet
easy.
wet, right?
Yeah.
And I do guide them when they start backing up. I'm like right there. All right, now wax off. Wax on.
Yeah.
Well, I love that.
So I went on the pad a couple of weeks ago and just had to back up. I think it's called maneuver number one, I think is
I don't know.
what it
We
is.
do 45 90s or straight backs.
It's a straight back. But you think, oh, just straight back, right? It just goes straight. No, like that trailer, it just wants to drift constantly. So you constantly got to move your wheels and move the wheel this way so that you don't hit any. Like it's pretty crazy.
Serpentine.
And that was empty.
See, and I grew up, definitely not comparing the two, but I grew up hauling boats to the lake and backing boats in. And even backing boats in, especially when it's crowded at the lake.
Yes.
It's terrifying. Like, you just don't want to do anything wrong. You don't want to hit the dock. You don't want to hit the guy next to you. And being at some of these shippers, when you pull in with a load and you got to back in.
Two trailers
and
right next to each
two
other.
trailers, right? Or even at the truck stops when you're parking and you're backing in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, me either.
20 footers.
Oh,
20 footers are the worst. They're the smaller they are, the harder they are.
Really?
And I always tell my students, remember, it's a snake. It's going to go wherever it wants to. You're in control. So remember, if it goes this way, go
turn
slow. Go slow. And you're going to follow it back.
Yeah.
Chase it back. They
Yeah.
always know that. Go serpentine, chase it back. Don't
Yeah.
let it get in control of you.
and that was the hardest thing too. When I was looking, he says, you see your mirror? If it's going that way, you turn it that way. You watch your mirror. And if it's going in that mirror, then you turn it towards that mirror. And I'm like,
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Because that's the stuff that when people get in the truck, I'm sure it probably scares them the most.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you're out on the road, even if you're new and you're with your trainer and you got to back into a spot because they got to learn.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Everyone's
watching.
Everyone knows you're the new guy or the new girl, and,
And they won't move out your way.
No, they're probably laughing.
They are. They're like out there with their popcorn, like, oh, this is going to be interesting. She's a female. Let me see how she does it.
All
Yeah.
their curtains open up
Yes.
as they watch you
It's like they
back
sent you,
in.
like, oh, new female, new driver.
They probably announce it
newbie.
on Channel 5 or something.
I know. I think they do because they're like, there was nobody here at the one time. I go, no, there wasn't. Now everybody's out
Everybody's
there.
here.
They know right away. Yeah, hey.
CB channel number
guy I
5,
was
they're
with,
talking.
I'm like, well, can't you just pull through? He goes, yeah, but you're gonna have to learn how to back in eventually. Yeah, but just pull through. He's like,
I have my students do a pull through because if you do port, you go through some really tiny
tight stuff, huh?
Yeah. So I have them. They're even scared to do the pull through than the backup.
Well, because
Well-
it looks like you're going to hit.
Yes.
Well, and then
'Cause
probably
it's so wide.
And I didn't even think about that. You're doing it for ports now because that's a whole nother beast
That's a
with what you've got
totally
going
different
on in the
beast.
ports.
Well, yeah, with the ports because you drive right up to the containers. The crane comes
Puts
and
it-
takes it right off, and they'll tell you to keep going, and then you pull up to the next one for them to put it on. When they put it on, I'm like, that thing's gonna land on me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get squashed.
You're looking like this?
yes, and I'm like,
Well, I didn't
please,
even think of that.
yes, no, because you see it swinging like this.
You're like, oh,
and it's
Lord.
just going, and all of a sudden, whoof, I'm like, oh, I live another day.
He didn't hit me.
I know, like I got this, and then you pull through and you're driving through because the crane's right here. It's real narrow and it goes right here and it reaches all the containers right
Containers.
there. And it
Yeah.
goes right and you drive right by it. And it's literally just enough room, probably 3 feet on each side.
Yeah, that's scary
tight.
too.
That's
And
tight.
then you go through and there's people walking and, that work there and there's
Yeah.
cars around there. And then
It's
it
just chaos.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a
the
madhouse.
ports are-
It's a whole
yeah.
new city.
Oh,
You
God.
go
Port-
there.
ports is that's a
It's
whole
like the
other
Emerald
deal.
City. You get there, you're like, wow, all these lights.
That's a horse of a different color.
It is. They're all different colors up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something different.
So, go ahead, Linda, if you got something.
Yeah. So you touched on just a little bit, and I want to go back to it because I think a lot of times, especially our female drivers, not that our males don't attempt to bond with their family, but sometimes it's hard, especially as a single mom. And you mentioned bringing the kids onto the truck and having to homeschool. I would like to touch on that just a little bit because I know we do today have females, maybe they're thinking of coming onto a truck and how, even once they got off of your truck, how do you keep that mother-son, mother-daughter relationship? How do you keep that going?
Yeah, Linda, I think that's a great way to put it because men by nature, right? Of course they love their families, but they feel like I got to be out there providing for my family.
Right.
Mom's at home taking care of the kiddos. I'm out and making sure we're providing. Well, when you're single, you don't have that.
Right.
And a motherly instinct by nature, right, is to nurture, to love her children and to be there for them. Not that the dad doesn't love them, but it's not the
different.
same as what a mother.
You're doing all in one.
Correct.
And there is a lot of single fathers out there too. I'll give you
Right.
that because
Sure.
I did
Yep.
meet some of them out there with their kid, their owner ops. You know, they have their one child with them or their two. You know, and I was like, "Oh, you got your kids?" It goes, "Yeah." You know, I communicate with them. I go, "So, do you have some good tips for cooking?" He goes, "I do." You know, and I go, "Oh, we could share some. I've had some." You know.
Well, and that's another section too that I'd like to get into because when you're feeding yourself, it's
bit
one
different.
thing to go grab some junk and just give you something so that you can at least get through the day. But now, as
Or
a
to
mother,
not eat at all.
or not eat at
Yeah.
all. But now,
Yeah.
as a mother, you've got 2 kids that now you can't do that. They have to eat,
Yeah.
whether or not you eat. They have to eat, and it's got to be decent food,
Yeah. Crock pot.
And they're looking to you.
right?
Yes.
Because as a kid, their mother is everything, right?
Right.
Mother takes care of everything for them.
So
Back
let's
then-
go back to your children being on.
And then back then, they didn't have all these fancy restaurants in the truck stops back then. I think the iron skillet was the biggest thing back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You know, or like, oh, iron skillet, you know, but no, it wasn't that because it's costly.
Right.
You know, I ain't gonna lie, I did have my rice cooker.
Yeah.
You know, which I did my vegetables in there. I did my rice in there. I would make chicken. And then back then, we didn't have these fancy stuff now, too. You know, you have your
a
your
different
cup to
deal.
boil water in.
Oh yeah,
You know, and you got to think of creative ways. And then they came out with the propane skillet. You know, like, this is small. I could do this. So there I am. I felt like I was at home. I just needed my flip-flops or my little robe and stuff, making chorizo, papas and eggs, making burritos, you know, feeding them. You know, that was a morning thing. And then if I did, I'll make a couple of extra, you know, burritos for the run, you know, because they do need to eat.
right.
There was this little, it's like a lunch box, and I had the burritos in there, so they stood warm all during the day, and they would just grab one and eat while they're. And if there was times, you know, I had time to kill, well, I'll go out there, pull it out, and make them dinner or something, you know,
Wherever
or
you're
it
at.
will, or it will cook while I was driving
In the crock pot.
in the crock pot.
That's cool.
The crock pot, I love the crock pot.
I
I know
love our
that,
new crock pot, the one I want.
yeah, that's one of my favorites, and I know the Instapot and all of those are great.
Oh, you won one?
Yeah, she
At,
did. She won.
Driver Appreciation
Oh my
Week?
gosh, I wanted
Awesome.
the chicken dinner. I won a lot. I was amazed.
That's cool.
But the crock pot I love because I always tell the drivers, you wake up in the morning and you throw whatever it is you're going to cook and stick it in the crock pot and turn it on and drive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cook it on low, 8 hours later, it's good. If you cook it on high, 4 hours later, it's good. And now you've got a great meal.
Yeah.
Hot roast,
Yeah.
chicken enchilada.
You name it.
You really
Everything
enjoy
can
the
go.
good life.
Yeah, and I even to this day I use it. And I'll come home, and dinner's done. Because I'll come home, getting out my truck.
With
my,
your-
my husband's like, "What's for dinner?" I go, "I'm bringing it. Hold on," and it's not
That's
takeout.
I'm only
Funny.
10 miles away. Just simmer
and it's
down.
not takeout.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the
So she
enchiladas
preps
is a big.
coming home.
Yeah.
Walks in with the crock
With the
pot.
crock pot already
I
going.
go in there with my groceries in my truck and make sure everything's pre-cooked, and I just throw it all in there. I'm like, okay, California, 6.5 hours. I got a night layover, and then 3.5 hours, 4 hours back. I could do this. Okay, put it in there. It's good.
Wow.
Now, how often in the ports, how often are you home?
Home every other day.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's
good.
nice.
Every other day.
And then, so on the kids, you said that some of those kids, or a couple, I don't know if it was both or just one of those kids was actually your
two.
ex.
Both.
Okay, they both were.
yes.
Are you still in touch with them today?
I am. They're adults now.
Yeah.
My
Well,
oldest
sure.
one is 32. The other one's 30. So
So they stay in touch with you, huh?
yeah, I'm still in touch with them. You know, I mean, they're kids. It's not their fault or anything. You know,
Sure, yeah.
I'm still like
I love it.
their mother. You know, they see me as their mother, and you know, they call me, of course, for money.
Oh, you
Like,
mean
Susie's
so?
about to
Wait.
get turned off.
So what you're telling me is that doesn't change the older they get?
No,
that
no,
sucks.
it just gets worse. It gets more
Freak.
expensive.
They
Yeah,
multiply.
those stinking
Yes, they
kids.
multiply out. That's what
That's
the thing
what
is.
happens. They multiply.
Yes, they multiply.
You talking about when they have kids?
Yes.
Or I thought you meant you just like they multiply as they grow. It's like that.
They do that too.
dollar sign keeps going up.
It
That
does.
too.
It
Sometimes
does.
I just want to punch my boys in the face and be like, just get out of my house and don't ever come back.
Oh yeah, they'll get out.
be back.
But they'll still call you. They got their
Oh,
number.
they're like cockroaches. They just keep coming
yeah,
back.
yeah. They know where you live.
And they bring their spouse, they
Yes.
bring children. Like I went from a family of 4 to now we're a family of 9.
It sounds like Jim Updike's problem.
We have one of those Updike kids here.
Yeah, they grow and then you gotta like, darn it, I thought it was done.
So but they probably learned some valuable lessons.
Yeah.
Watching you on the truck. They don't realize it when they're young, but as they get older, thinking, man, my mom busted her tail for us. And she still taught us school. She still made sure we were being educated while she was earning a living for us. And those experiences that they have on that truck, watching you can't put a price tag on.
Can't put a price tag on it.
No, you know what? I'm very grateful I was able to do that. And you know what? They always say those are my best memories.
I'm sure
I
they
loved
are,
it, because a lot of people live in Arizona, never leave Arizona, never even stepped out, never even go to Flagstaff, never been to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And here they got that opportunity to go places. And that's something they're like, oh, you remember, Mom? We went over here. We went to Florida. We went to the beach. So those are childhood memories they're going to have.
Well, I didn't even think about it that way. Like you get to, hey, we're in Florida. Let's go. While we're here, let's step out to the beach. Never even thought about
New
it.
York. Give them experiences, right?
Yeah, New York. We went and saw the Christmas lights and lit up.
Yeah.
And, not everybody could say they went there and did that as a child.
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean,
cool.
that sort of experience. I mean, we even had a breakdown. We were on Alligator Alley. I don't know if you know, it's in Florida. It's a pathway through Florida.
Through the Everglades?
Yes.
Okay.
We were broke down. And
With the kids?
With the kids. We were melting in the truck. Oh my gosh. We were getting eaten up by mosquitoes and everything.
Yeah, Florida's
and we were there
nasty
for
with
like
that.
almost a full day. And I was like, I'm done. I wanted to jump in the water, but there was a bunch of gators. And they're like, remember that one time we got eaten up by mosquitoes? And I was like, yeah, that's one memory I don't want to remember.
So give us some advice. Let's talk to the women out there who are either currently driving or maybe interested in driving. What is some advice you would give them?
As becoming a driver?
Or as a
being
driver.
As a driver.
Let me see here. Becoming a driver, I think you got to be patient your first 6 months to a year. That's for new drivers, I would say. Be patient. One, for your pay, because you're learning. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. And just to let you know, everyone has made those mistakes. Yeah. And same with backing up. You're not going to get it right offhand. Right. It takes time to get that down. So patience is the big key on there. And just learn your skill. Learn your skill. And for the older drivers out there, I want to say, hey, keep on trucking with them. And
meet me on Channel 19.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Or you can reach me at Mother Trucker Trainer at TikTok.
There you go.
The ones that are still training out there, I think sometimes because a lot of them are single and stuff, is get connections. Get on Facebook, get on social media. There's so many women links out there that you can communicate and build a family bond of friendship, because it does get lonely out there. I was, single for many of years, being a truck driver, female, and I didn't want to bond with anybody, like as in relationship, but communicating. Sometimes we don't have that social skills of family and friends, and it does get lonely. But I say get on social media. I mean, it is your friend. I hate to say it. There is some stuff out there, but it's up to you to make that decision, what you want to communicate with.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I know you're new to the TikTok scene.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that you say, hey, sometimes that becomes your friend, because you get all these questions from these strangers who you don't know, but you kind of get to bond a little bit almost with.
I've got a great bond with quite a bit of them. I've met a lot of women out there. It's weird. They will notice me at a truck stop, and I'm like, okay, I'm not that out there, but they're like, oh, I saw your video. And then I've met, actually just yesterday, in Blythe. It was I ride a motorcycle too. And
my goodness.
They were like, hey, you ride a motorcycle? They asked me, I go, yeah. They go, look, we were just looking at your thing. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. So they invited me to ride a ride with them.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So I'm kind of excited to go riding with them, So,
That's really cool.
Just, linking up and communicating with people.
So is your husband a biker too?
He is, but he wrecked his motorcycle, so he cannot ride mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one him.
Now
for
he
him
gets
Christmas.
to ride with you. He rides in the back.
Right, bitch.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, that's priceless.
but yeah, I think just reaching out to other people.
Good. Hey, I think that's great.
Yeah, I think it's great advice. For
All right, one final question. It's kind
$10.
it's kind of our staple question here on the show. If you had the ear of every truck driver in America, male or female, what advice or thought or what would you say to them?
I would say be courteous with other drivers, knowing that some of them might be new drivers. We all been there first. We all been a new driver at one time. And you guys know big companies were governor at 65.
Oh, yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
If we're able to pass you, let us pass you. That's like our big thing of the day. Yes, I passed the fast truck. No, just be courteous. I think being courteous and being understanding that we all started from ground zero learning how to drive.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And be friendly. A lot of us are out there for days, months, and don't even have family. Say hi.
Say hi as you go by.
Say hi.
So I say that, the Jeep, you got you got your steering wheel, you do the Jeep way, right? The two when you're doing the Jeep. And then if you're a motorcycle, you do out to the side, right?
Out to the side.
It's a Jeep thing.
Clearly.
And a motorcycle thing. But we're the largest thing out there.
Yes.
Why is there not, it's a truck, it's a
So
semi
you want
thing.
to do this? For
No,
large?
that's not safe.
Yeah, because you got to have but why can't we do a quick,
You know what?
I thought it was this. I thought it was this.
No, that's for the children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's for
My
the
bad.
children. No, so when I see another night coming, and it is a lot of the night drivers, we see each other from across the freeway. So we're aiming high, steering high. We go like we wave at each other.
That's awesome.
And then when you're passing, I get a little, a little honk, and they're like,
yeah.
But you could wave, it's a courteous thing. We're all out there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Some people make more money than others, but still we're all
You're
doing
all
the
out
same
there doing
job.
the same thing. Yeah.
So it's really it's a universal wave. There is no Jeep thing. It's just, hey.
It totally is a Jeep
No,
thing.
it is a Jeep thing.
And it is a motorcycle.
Well, you can only do the Jeep thing for so long because after 40,000 miles, they break down anyway. So
Because they just eat every part.
pretty much.
And the motorcycles, if you watch them,
They go
next
down.
time you got a
I have
motorcycle,
seen that. I
they
have
go
seen
down.
that.
That's what
yeah.
they're doing. They're
I've
waving
always
to
wondered
the,
what they were doing.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
they're waving to the other bikers.
Yeah, down.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the Jeeps are waving to the other Jeeps. You just have to watch and see, but it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat when
Very
you're part
cool.
of the club,
Well, Rosa,
club.
thank
Secret
you.
club.
the secret club.
Thanks
with
for
the
being
secret
here.
saint.
Thank
This
you.
was awesome. Truly, very impressive. You as a single mother driving in a truck, the way that you persevered, survived, went into other stuff for your family, and then back into the truck, and now you're passing that all along to all these other women that are coming up in the industry, which is great. I think it's fantastic. So,
Well, and it's
really
awesome
thank
because you get to share those experiences with the other females who may be struggling with the same thing,
Yep.
which is really great.
which I'm sure, to your point earlier, there's probably a lot that just don't know how to talk about it or don't know what to do. And hopefully, if they hear your words, it'll give them a little comfort and maybe a little nudge.
And where are they going to find you at? We might as well give that in case they
She
need
just
that
said,
ear. I know, Mother Trucker.
Trainer.
TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok, but
Mother Trucker
Trainer.
You know, so funny.
TikTok.
My husband named me that. And
Really?
he calls me and goes, "What's up, Mother Trucker?"
well, hey,
It's stuck.
yeah, and as long as our audience knows, there you have it. Mother Trucker Trainer on TikTok. You can also follow us on TikTok, right?
Yes.
Every social media outlet, I think. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram,
All of it.
Snap, Twitter, all of the above. Go find us.
Snap, Twitter.
We're there. What is it? Twitter. Just the Twitter.
The bird.
What's the bird?
That's the
Twitter.
Twitter.
The Twitter, yeah. Is there another one? All right, I'm making a mockery of myself, and so I apologize, but thank you for being with us today. You're awesome. Go find us on social media. And what do we do, Linda?
Keep on trucking.
We enjoyed bringing this show to you, and we hope you had fun along the way too. We're going 10-10 for now, but you can catch us on the side on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Beyond the Rig and Drive Night. Until next time, be safe out there and keep trucking.